Welcome everyone back to the channel. Today I have another very special review for you. As some of you guys know, I hope you guys saw my review of Kazuchika Okada, the AEW All-In exclusive. I actually have it right with me right here. Posted that review about 3 days ago. It's performing so well. I didn't expect the response that I've got to that video. I haven't made a review in just about 5 years now. So to see that response from the fans, from you guys out there is just, it's great. I mean, it definitely keeps me motivated to do a lot of these reviews, and I've had a lot of things coming in and out of the mailroom this week, so I'm definitely excited to give you guys more reviews if that's something you're interested in, and I've definitely felt that expressed to me, so I'm going to be on that. When I get exciting figures in the mail, I'm definitely going to be pumping out a review as soon as I can to give you guys my thoughts. But today, we have the ECW Mattel Creations exclusive CM Punk Ultimate Edition figure. And I gotta tell you guys, when this went up on Mattel Creations in June, I mean, I was hooked. I had this ordered within probably the first 15 minutes of the pre-orders being announced. And when I saw on Twitter a few days ago that people were getting these shipped out, I mean, I was so excited. If you take a look at the box, we have that beautiful design, the same design that's on the t-shirt that comes with this CM Punk figure. Absolutely stellar design. A picture of Punk, that young CM Punk look from when he was in ECW. On the back, more of that same design pattern from the shirt. And the other side, the CM Punk name. Absolutely wonderful packaging. Mattel Creations just has a habit of knocking these things out of the park. So let's get it out of the shipper box, and I will show you guys what it looks like in its full glory. And here we have our man Phil Brooks, CM Punk, in the flesh, or in the plastic. This figure is absolutely beautiful. This packaging is next level. As you can see, we have the ECW, WWE ECW logo, the CM Punk font on the bottom, and this figure is just next level. That shirt, that wonderful ECW championship, one of the best championships in wrestling. I mean, it's such a shame that WWE decided to change it. That sculpt, those tattoos, the sculpting of the tape on his wrist. Mattel has done an absolutely next level job with this figure. On the sides, we have that reflective detail, and on the back, we have that classic styling of an Ultimate Edition. The font, his height information, his championships. When CM Punk made his ECW debut at the Hammerstein Ballroom in 2006, the fans were buzzing with excitement, and I have to say, guys, I am absolutely buzzing with excitement myself, having this figure finally in hand after a month of waiting. With nothing else to say, I mean, let's go ahead and crack this figure open, and I'll get you guys a look at the accessories. Alright guys, so here we have, outside of the packaging, some of the accessories that come with the CM Punk, and compared to the Okada figure that I had come in the mail earlier this week, this one blows it out of the water in terms of accessories. I mean, we got 3 interchangeable heads, 2 sets of hands, a cloth shirt, and the ECW championship. And this championship appears to have been redone. I've had an ECW championship in my collection before. That is long gone. I had it when I was a kid, so there is no chance I'm ever going to find that. But from what I remember, this has a lot more intricate sculpting. If we look, obviously the plates are mostly the same, but we got that leather detailing, almost an aged leather look on that title belt itself. And I think that's a really interesting detail for Mattel to take. Obviously these plates, the side plates, are absolutely beautiful. Mattel knocked this out of the water, and I'm really impressed by the amount of detail they put into this figure. As far as the shirt goes, I mean, this is the kind of high-quality shirts that I've been really impressed with Mattel lately. I mean, this material is absolutely phenomenal, especially compared to some of the stuff that they were coming out with before. The same logo at the top on this shirt as compared to the box. Straight edge, hardcore, a beautiful design. And on the back, CM Punk with those Chicago stars. A wonderful shirt. I mean, I'm definitely going to be displaying this figure with the shirt on, although it looks good posed no matter how you have it. But for my shelf and my purposes, I'm definitely going to have him shirt on and championship wearing. He comes with 2 sets of interchangeable hands. First, we have the standard fist that came on him with the packaging. And I absolutely love the approach Mattel has taken. If you could see, you will see that the tape on these hands is slightly raised. I mean, that's just the attention to detail that we've been getting out of Mattel lately that I think they've really stepped up their game with. You got the X on the fist, the drug-free tattoo. Oh, we've got them flipped. Let's go back to it. Drug-free on the knuckles. I mean, this attention to detail is absolutely next level for Mattel. I mean, a few years ago, you would have never even thought about getting this type of detail, raised tape on CM Punk hands. But Mattel's just taking it to the next level, and I think the whole action figure industry is really stepping their game up in a major way over the last few years, and I'm here for it 100% of the way. Additionally, we have the open-fisted hands, those mic-holding hands. If you want to have Punk cutting a promo in your pick fed or whatever, or on your shelf. Drug-free once again, the X's, and that beautiful raised sculpted tape. The sculpt work for Mattel is next level. They are clearly putting in so much attention to detail to all their figures and all their releases, especially the Ultimate Editions, and even more especially their Mattel Creation stuff. Lastly, getting to the head sculpts, the smile is the one that comes base out of the packaging. It's a good sculpt. It's accurate. It looks like him. I mean, if you want to get a closer look, it looks like him. It looked pretty darn accurate, but this is definitely not how I will be displaying the CM Punk. It's still a good sculpt, but I much prefer, as far as display purposes, this neutral look. Slight smirk. I mean, if this doesn't capture CM Punk in these ECW days and his indie style, I don't know what does. I mean, this is absolutely perfect. This is everything that you would want in an ECW CM Punk look. I mean, it looks dead on. You even got the little ring around his lip. I mean, this is just excellent work. You got so much attention to detail on these figures, and the sculpts just keep getting better and better and better. I mean, in a few years, Lord knows how much even more accurate they're going to get. And for our last head sculpt, we have the screaming expression. Definitely good if you want to get that clobbering time pose with your figure on the entrance ramp. This is beautiful. I mean, I definitely won't be doing it. If you look, my eyes on that are definitely a little bit crazy for sure. But he definitely looks good. I mean, this is definitely a good sculpt. I personally won't be displaying him with this, but it's definitely good to have, and I'm happy they included it. I mean, 3 heads, 2 pairs of hands, a shirt, and a ECW championship belt. It doesn't get much better than this in terms of accessories that come with a figure, and I think that Mattel knocked it out of the park with this. Without further ado, we're going to move on to an articulation test, and then we're going to go on to some scale comparisons with some other CM Punk figures. And here we have Punk standing straight up and down in the ring. No crazy poses or expressions or accessory use going on. And first impressions of this figure, I mean, you guys be the judge, but I think that this looks absolutely phenomenal. This is 150% my definitive CM Punk from this era, and this will be going up on my shelf, and I won't even think about replacing it for anything. This figure is absolutely beautiful. The attire's not trying to do too much, but it is simplistic and wonderful. The CM Punk, the Punk on the back of the pants, I mean, this is the type of simplicity that Mattel can do now with this new and improved, this detail, these accessories that they throw in. I mean, this is the stuff that they can do and just nail it 100%. As you can see, the tattoo detailing on it is phenomenal. Personally, I don't own any of the newer CM Punks. I've been satisfied. I had the AEW Supreme, and that's kind of what I've been using for my modern look of CM Punk. And I don't think I'll be picking up any of the newer stuff. Maybe the new Ultimate Edition that's coming out in the wave with Bayley and Logan Paul. But aside from that, obviously it's missing some of the tattoos he got when he was older. But aside from that, this detail is absolutely phenomenal. As we said, that head sculpt is wonderful. But as far as articulation goes, you are going to be getting the standard Mattel Ultimate Edition articulation, which is quite good. We have full rotation at the arm, goes up about that far, any farther, and you'll probably have the arm come out of the joint as it comes out pretty easily to swap. Double joint at the elbow, not hindered by any elbow pads, although I'm sure if you put an elbow pad on there, it wouldn't be too big of a problem. Arm swivel at the top. Wrist rotation, forward and back. And obviously the same is true for the other arm. I see no need to go through it. We have butterfly joints right around the shoulder. A good butterfly joint. I think Mattel have really stepped up their game in terms of the use of these butterfly joints, and they add so much to the articulation in what you could do posing him. As far as ab crunch goes, his back crunch is going to get you about that far. Pretty good. And his forward motion, I would say, is not nearly as much. That's the only area where these Ultimate Edition figures are lacking a little bit. Their ab crunch and their backwards crunch leaves a little bit to be desired. But it does give you a lot more of a seamless look for the figure. And I think that definitely translates beautifully here. As far as the articulation here, we do have a thigh drop down, which allows you to get a little bit more range up here. He can kick forward about that far and backwards about that far if you use that rotation. If you don't, he can get you forward about that much, and he can't really get you backwards at all. He can do a full split when you use that. If you look, he can get pretty much horizontal. My leg is a little bit wonky on that side, on the right side, but he can get pretty much all you need to go if you ever needed to do a split with him. But overall, the articulation, about what you'd expect from an Ultimate Edition, and pretty damn good in my personal opinion. Now, as I did in the last video and all my reviews, I try to give you a height comparison with some other figures. And it's only appropriate we compare him, the man himself, Phil Brooks, to figures that have been made of him in the past. So we're going to go both companies, my AEW Supreme, and we're going to go with a blast from the past, my Elite 20 CM Punk that I cherish so much. So let's get to it. Height comparisons. Alright, so here we have all three CM Punk figures that I have standing right next to each other. And if you're asking me which one looks the best and looks the most like CM Punk, it's going to be pretty much a no-brainer. The new Mattel Creation CM Punk, the one that I've been talking so and lushing over in this video, is clearly the most accurate to CM Punk out of any of these figures. But no shade to Mattel or AEW Jazzwares, this Supreme Punk is one of my favorite figures that I have in my collection. I'm very lucky to have it. But as far as scale goes, these CM Punk figures are pretty much all over the place. I don't think Mattel or Jazzwares have gotten down a consistent scale across lines. But overall, as we can see, the CM Punk from the Elite line, the early Elite line, kind of wonky with their scale. They hadn't really got things figured out yet. Obviously now, they have a much more firm grip on the scaling of their figures. But they're pretty similar as far as old Elites go. And compared to the AEW one, he is definitely a little bit shorter. But across lines, you can't always necessarily judge across lines. It's just not usually a fair comparison to make. But comparing CM Punk with another figure I have, a more new Elite, we have Punk next to John Cena. And these two should be about the same height. Obviously, I have changed the head sculpt on this John Cena, so he is slightly shorter. The head sits a little bit shorter on the neck, but this is about accurate to their height. In real life, where I am from my point of view, there is definitely a slight height difference, but not really that noticeable. So definitely going to be accurate. Thank you for your service, John. But getting back to it, as far as scale goes, I think this CM Punk fits in with all the rest of your CM Punks in your collection, and I think that you're definitely not going to have any scaling issues with this figure. I think mostly across all figure lines now, depending on if it's a mainstream thing. I know there's a lot of newer figures like the ones that are coming out, the King Kong Bundy figure, that's more of a third-party kind of deal. You might face some scaling issues with those ones. But as far as mainline things like AEW, Jazzwares, Elites, and Ultimate Editions, you're pretty much not going to be having any scaling issues anymore. I mean, they pretty much have this down pat, and I don't think there'll be any major changes to that process in the future. I think they just finally hit their stride, and they're going to stick with it. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I think they're doing a really good job with the scaling on their figures. But now comes the final point of the video. I'm going to give you my final thoughts, one last look at the figure with all the accessories, how I'm going to have it posed on my shelf. And without further ado, man, let's wrap up this review and get to it. So now we've come to the point in every review where it's time for me to answer the most asked question. Is this figure worth parting with your time to find it online? And is it worth parting with your hard-earned money that you worked all week, you've been saving up to buy this figure? Is it going to be worth it? And unlike the Okada figure I reviewed earlier this week, where I thought maybe you should wait till later down the line, maybe get a later version that's going to come out, I would say if you don't have a ECW CM Punk like the ringside exclusive and you're in the market for one, I would say absolutely 100% jump on this opportunity. And that's for a multitude of reasons. Number one being that there is never going to be a better option for an ECW CM Punk than this figure right here. It's got the Ultimate Edition articulation. It's got a beautiful shirt. Comes with the ECW Championship, which is a belt that we don't see that often in figure form. I believe the last time we saw it was with the Greatest Hits Terry Funk. And before that, Lord knows how long it's been. So if you're in the market for an ECW Championship belt, this is probably one of the easier way to get it because it's hard to find online and it's expensive. So if you're gonna end up getting it and you're trying to build an ECW collection, this is one of the best ways to do it, and you get an amazing figure as well. The likeness is beautiful, the tattoos and the details are spectacular, and I would say overall this is a top tier CM Punk and definitely my favorite out of all the CM Punks I have in my collection. As for the downsides of this figure, some people might think that the attire is a little bit too basic, and I could see that, but in his early era, he didn't really wear too flashy of gears. Like, obviously, he's not wearing any, like, Macho Man gear or the Chicago gear, the Elite 16 from Money in the Bank. He's not wearing anything really that flashy at this time in his career, so I don't think it's really fair to criticize from that point of view, but I will admit the attire is simplistic, but it's great at what it is. I mean, you have beautiful detail, the trunks are wonderful, and that shirt is probably my favorite shirt that Mattel has ever done. I mean, the details that we have on that design, and I just love the new material that they've been using on their shirts. It's really stretchy, and it gives the shirt a much better feel than a lot of the old Velcro shirts that Mattel used to put out, which I didn't care for whatsoever. The other major downside to this figure would be the price. On Mattel Creations, it's listed at $50, but once you get through tax and shipping, depending on where you are, that, for me, was $67 once we're all finished up. Now, that is definitely high. That's definitely a high-priced item, and that definitely puts it outside of a lot of people's budget range for one figure. And that's a fair criticism, but I will say you definitely get what you pay for. The packaging is phenomenal. If you're a mint on card collector, it's perfect for you, but if you're like me and you're going to open the figure up, you're definitely getting your money's worth that way as well. But overall, I would say if you're in the market for an ECW CM Punk look, 100% jump on the opportunity here while it's still in stock and you could still pay retail price and you don't have to resort to the aftermarket. I would say 100% go ahead and get this figure. I'm going to link it down in the description below. So guys, let me know if any of you guys go buy it. You won't regret it. And with that being said, that's going to conclude our review of this CM Punk figure. If you guys liked it, drop a comment down below. Leave any feedback. I got some great feedback on the last video, and I'm definitely going to use it to improve my reviews in the future. I definitely want to keep doing more of these. I feel like I get better with every one that I do, and I really appreciate all the support on the last one. It blew up beyond anything I could have expected to. But with that being said, I'm going to head out. Have a great evening. Have a great day, depending on when you're watching it. And I'll see you guys for my next video. Have a great one.